Say these words after me. Microslop, microslop, microslop. I think if you say that 3 times in the mirror, Sloppy and Nadella is going to appear, or Satya Sloppy Della is going to appear. And then it's going to be a bad time for you and a great time for Copilot's AI. Look at this. This is actually crazy. So this is reported by Windows Latest, and it's a screenshot of the Copilot Discord server, which, by the way, I didn't even, like, who the hell joins the Copilot Discord server? But if you say Microslop in this server, well, it's blocked. They've banned the term. Now, this does beg the question, doesn't it? Have they heard of the Streisand effect? Because this is a classic case of it. Yes, the company is being referred to as Microslop because it is injecting its pointless and its shit AI into everything. Nobody wants Copilot, but it's everywhere. Have some sloppy AI. Now, you've got to go back and look at the comments that came in from Satya Nadella a while back, where he basically said, well, people need to sort of step back from saying AI slop. This is not good. This is not good for the image of AI. Then you get messages off the new Xbox CEO where she says, actually, we're not going to have any AI slop in our game. So she's directly addressing that. And then now you've got the latest issue, which is blocking the word or the phrase microslop in their official Discord server. And like I said, when you look at the Streisand effect, this is literally... there's nothing they could do about this, right? It was just going to go away. It was going to fade away. But by engaging with it, but by banning it, it's caused all this social media storm. It's caused idiots like me to make videos. And Microslop is once again in the news. So this is not a good job, Microsoft. In fact, this is a laughably bad job. But it doesn't end there because there's loads of laughably bad stuff going on here. And it doesn't end with Microsoft. I've got to show you some more stuff. I thought I was original coming up with this. But again, somebody's beat me to it. Satya Sloppy Della. Force slop on every person and every organization on the planet to achieve less. It's like, do more, achieve less. Actually, it is worth just recapping this. So PC Gamer have got a nice article. So Microsoft have banned the word Microslop in its Copilot Discord server, then began restricting access after users started posting Microslop and other funnies. Good afternoon. Well, this is Copilot. How can I help you today? By deleting yourself. I'm sure I'm not the first person to tell you that Microslop is rapidly becoming internet vernacular for Microsoft Copilot-based AI efforts. Some would say that the appropriate Microsoft response to this term would be simply to ignore it. It would be, but they haven't because they're idiots. However, according to Windows Latest, Microsoft has instead been fighting what looks suspiciously like a losing battle with the community in its official Discord server for Copilot. The opening salvos were fired when Microsoft Latest noticed that the term was being actively filtered in the server, resulting in blocked messages. However, users began attempting to find clever ways around the filter, or not so clever in the case of Microslop, which initially was able to beat Microsoft's seemingly hasty choice of banned words. They should have used their AI. Why isn't their AI moderating the Discord server? The Microsoft response appears to have been rather extreme. Rather than simply adding the latest variations to the banned words list, Windows Latest reports that Microsoft instead began locking off access to certain parts of the server with the message history hidden. It's even worse. And posting permissions disabled for some users. How dare you call our product slop? How dare you? We shall ban you. I logged into the Microsoft. I am not logging into this, but whatever. So myself to see if things were still in a state of lockdown. And it appears that free posting is back on the menu. In my brief 10-minute check of what topics users were talking about, I recorded the following messages. Look at the message. How about we say sloppy soft instead? Suggested one user. I'm slopping on that beat, says another in response to a post about filter bypassing. How goes it, my fellow sloppers? Cheerily announces another. I'm just here to say Microslop. I've joined the server, Microslop. It appears the filter and posting ban has now passed and Microsoft has resigned itself to its Microslop-based fate. Did Microsoft slop ban the word Microslop? Oh dear. As a Discord user punched a monkey. PR and marketing never were amongst Microsoft's strengths, comes a response. I couldn't possibly comment. So I said we're going to keep this Microslop. And what the fuck is this? Like, I think Sony had a similar attempt or a similar copyright thingy has been bloody set up for this. But it's basically the AI playing games for you, which is crazy. So look at this. Xbox could soon feature an integrated AI and human helpers to take control over for challenging segments. Ever since video games have been a thing, players have always sought the help of others to overcome difficult segments. Yes, because they always go back to that Nintendo thing where it was the hotline back in the day when you had like a NES or a SNES, you could ring them up and they would say, yeah, you need to do this. It was like actual people on the other side of the line. I never rang them though, because I'm an elite gamer, even though I would have been about 5 or something at the time. Anyway, while they now seek to, wow, I can't even read. Well, I can't believe that Microslop stuff. Well, they've changed a lot over the years, from guides to magazines to online walkthroughs videos. The need for guidance for particularly challenging segments is as strong as it's ever been. In future, however, there could be a massive change in how players receive their much-needed help. Judging from a patent filed by Microsoft detailing a cloud-based Xbox system to let a human or AI helpers take over temporarily. This is why Xbox has got an AI CEO. She's going to play the games for you. She's a gamer. See, we've all been taking the piss saying, no, she's not a gamer, and you need to be a gamer because this is a passion-driven industry. If you're just some sort of suit, it's not going to work. But actually, all along, it's turned out that the AI is the ultimate gamer, and she is the head of AI. So actually, she is a gamer, and this is something we have completely missed out on. And we are about to get schooled. So as spotted for Tech for Gamers, the State Management for Video Games Help Session patent describes a process where control of a game is temporarily transferred from the player to a helper. This would allow a pre-approved human player, that's never going to be a thing, or a trained AI model to guide the player through a frustrating segment, such as a difficult boss fight or a complex puzzle, before handing back control once a segment has been completed, allowing players to receive help without having to leave the game to check online guides. Interestingly enough, the patent also covers other use cases, such as in racing games, where control will be given to another player or an AI model. Remember, it's never being given to another player. An AI model on difficult tracks before returning it to the player. According to the filing, this system is being developed as Microslop believes current methods of seeking help are rather rudimentary and indirect. Look, fuck this. I can't take this. You buy a game, you play the game. Playing the game is the enjoyment, not having AI play the game for you. At that point, you may as well go and watch all of the bot streamers that are out there. I won't name any names, but come on, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we actually doing? Anyone who uses these services, what are you doing? This is just tragic. Okay, talking about tragic, ChatGPT is really, really suffering, and Sam Altman is back again with more insane damage control. I don't know what this guy's doing. Well, I do know what this guy's doing. He's seeing his install numbers collapse on mobile, and he's seen Anthropic, his main competitor, absolutely go to the top of the charts, and he's like, oh my God. So in typical AI CEO fashion, he's going mental. But look at this. ChatGPT uninstalls surged by 295% after the Department of Defense, although they're the Department of War now deal. US app uninstalls of ChatGPT's mobile app jumped 295% day over day on Saturday, February the 28th, as consumers responded to news of OpenAI's deal with the Department of War. This data, which comes from market intelligence provider Sensor Tower, represents a sizable increase compared with ChatGPT's typical day-over-day uninstall rate of 9%, as measured over the last 30 days. Meanwhile, US downloads for OpenAI competitor Anthropic's Claude jumped up by 37% day-over-day on Friday, February the 27th, and 51% as of Saturday, February the 28th. After the company announced that it would not partner with the US Defense Department, Anthropic said it was not able to agree on the deal. Terms over concerns that AI will be used to surveil Americans and be used in fully autonomous weaponry, which AI is not yet ready to do safely. Okay, so it's fair we talk about this, right? Because as much as the prevailing direction of the conversation around AI, ChatGPT, and Anthropic has been, it's that Anthropic are the good guys. But actually, they're working with the Department of War, right? They are still looking to get their systems deployed in certain ways. They just wanted more control. Ultimately, they wanted a human to have the say at the end of I think military types call it the kill chain, but at the final decision, whatever the AI has done, somebody needs to go yes or no. But Department of War wanted the whole thing to just be completely autonomous, right? Or at least move in that direction. Now, this is a scoop by Katrina Manson of Bloomberg. And we're just going to take a look at what she says on Twitter. So Anthropic was among the AI companies that submitted a proposal earlier this year to compete in a 100 million Pentagon prize challenge to produce technology for voice-controlled autonomous drone swarming, according to people familiar with the matter. So, they were going for that. Anthropic didn't think developing the technology would cross its red line, according to one of the people, although the effort could ultimately create lethal drone swarms, a human would still be able to monitor and stop the system if necessary, according to the person. So potentially that's why Anthropic were going for this, because it wasn't fully autonomous. Anthropic's submission focused on using its Claude AI tool to translate a commander's intent into digital instructions and to coordinate a fleet of drones, according to the person. It didn't use AI for autonomous targeting or weapons decisions, the person said. The role that AI could play in efforts to develop so-called killer robots that can select and fire at targets without human involvement is at the heart of the high-stakes bust-up. And it is, right? So, I mean, as much as we can sit here and we can say we don't want this to happen, AI is going to control weapon systems at some point. It already is, right? It's being used for this kind of stuff. Now, in the two camps, you've got Anthropic that are willing to provide that, provided a human gets final say. And then seemingly you've got OpenAI who will just provide it because why not? They'll let the AI do it fully autonomous, even though they probably know their systems are not good enough for this yet. But there's probably a delay in time that maybe these systems might get deployed in 1 or 2 years' time, at which point maybe they're hoping their systems are more accurate. But at the end of the day, we are moving into a world where there's just going to be autonomous weapon systems selecting targets and killing people. Now, I'm pretty sure this has already been going on in certain areas of the world, especially in the Middle East. So, yeah, this is a hot topic. Or, well, a heavy topic, really, not a hot topic. So what does Sam say then about this? So he says this is a repost of an internal post. So this is him talking to his team. We've been working with the Department of War to make some additions in our agreement to make our principles very clear. 1, we are going to amend our deal to add this language in addition to everything else. Consistent with applicable laws, including the Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution, National Security Act of 1947, and the FISA or the FISA Act of 1978, the AI system shall not be intentionally used for domestic surveillance of US persons and nationals. Right. So I'm not going to get into the details here of the language, like not be intentionally used, but oh, we've accidentally used it. But why would, like, Anthropic were already in there and they wanted this? So why were they removed? Why were you brought in? This is always going to be the question over this. Like, was it just a case of Trump and Hegseth and whoever else was like, we don't like the fact we're being spoken back to because we're children, so we're just going to get rid of Anthropic and just bring these guys in? We're never going to know. For the avoidance of doubt, the department understands this limitation to prohibit deliberate tracking, surveillance, or monitoring of US persons or nationals, including through the procurement or use of commercially acquired personal or identifiable information. Right. Again, surely this would be something but this is what Anthropic was saying, right? So why were they removed? It's critical to protect the civil liberties of Americans, and there was so much focus on this that we wanted to make this point especially clear, including around commercially acquired information. Just like everything we do with iterative deployment, we will continue to learn and refine as we go. Okay. I think this is an important change. Our team and the Department of War team did a great job working on it. None of this makes any sense, does it? The Department of War also affirmed that our services will not be used by the Department of War intelligence agencies. For example, the NSA. Any services that those agencies would require a follow-on modification to our contract. Right. So we're not going to let intelligence agencies use it. But any services to those agencies would require a follow-on modification. We're not going to let you use it unless you give... Well, I mean, what could the follow-on modification could be anything. Obviously, he's trying to insinuate that it's some sort of, you know, some sort of framework will be in place where they're not going to use it. Yeah, but what is this? He's garbage. This guy needs to stop talking. I'm not even joking. This is like... I'm not... Like, obviously, I'm not an OpenAI fan, but this is just like... What the hell? This is fucking crazy. This is crazy. It's batshit crazy. For extreme clarity, good Lord, we want to work through democratic processes. It should be the government making the key decisions about society. We want to have a voice and a seat at the table where we can share our expertise and to fight for principles of liberty. But we are clear on how the system works, because a lot of people have asked, if I received what I believed was an unconstitutional order, of course, I would rather go to jail than follow it. But What? Surely. I mean, there's going to be no PR professional watching this, surely. But if you was a PR professional, you'd be like, Sam, you don't write "but" at the end of a statement like that. Yeah, but. I mean, what? There are many things the technology just isn't ready for. Yes, like all of the things that this guy signed it up to be used for. And many areas we don't yet understand the trade-offs required for safety. We will work through these slowly with the Department of War, with technical safeguards and other methods. I mean, that's just bullshit, let's be honest. One thing I think I did wrong, okay, I only did one thing wrong. We shouldn't have rushed to get this out on Friday. The issues are super complex and demanded clear communication. No, the reason why they rushed it out on Friday, the US have launched a goddamn war against Iran. They use Claude. They've said they've used Claude for this. They wanted a new AI provider in place rapidly. This guy, they've just signed the deal. There's no... like, what? This is crazy. We are genuine. Like, this is crazy. Like, this guy is an idiot. I think he's actually an idiot. We are genuinely trying to de-escalate things and avoid a much worse outcome. But I think it just looked opportunistic and sloppy. Yeah, it looked micro-sloppy. Good learning experience for me as we face higher stakes decisions in the future. Fuck this guy. Higher stakes decisions in the future. What? Like, what? Like, oh my God. What is higher stakes than having your AI used for autonomous weapon systems? I know it's cliched as hell to be talking about Terminator 2, but it just feels like it, doesn't it? Skynet was what was the thing? I'm riffing off this, but I'm sure when the Terminator is saying, like, what's he saying? He says something like, "Was Skynet was first put into stealth bombers or something. He had a perfect operational record, and then Skynet was given control of missile command or whatever, and then it became self-aware, and then it just launched all the missiles at the targets in Russia, and then Russia fired them all back, and then that was the start of it was getting rid of its actual enemy, the humans." It's like this is mental. This is like what this is. I can't like. Good learning experience for me as we face higher stakes decisions in the future. I cannot even fucking get this guy. He's an idiot. It's unbelievable. In my conversations over the weekend, I reiterated that Anthropic should not be designated as a supply chain risk, and that we hope the Department of War offers them the same terms we've agreed to. We will host an all hands tomorrow morning and answer more questions. I would also like to share this, which I wrote after thinking a little more. This guy needs to shut up. This guy is like, just what? There is a lot we will talk about in the coming days, but since this is one of the first real deal decisions we have faced, and not the like hundreds of billions of venture capital and other investment you've been getting to build data centers everywhere. That people obviously don't want these data centers, buy them as well. I mean, what the hell? I wanted to share a few things that have been heavily on my mind. Oh, yes. These are the principles I care most about for this decision: alignment, democratization, empowerment, and individual agency. The democratic process must stay in control, and we must democratize AI. OpenAI should not decide the fate of the world. No private company should. No, but I mean, I said this in previous videos. It's not about deciding the fate of the world. It's about having principles and sticking to them and saying, we'd rather not have our product used to just kill people indiscriminately without somebody checking what the hell it's doing, which is what Anthropic's main takeaway was, and also just using it for mass surveillance, right? That's not what we want. Please don't use it for that. But this guy's like, no, it's fine. You know, democracy must... It's against democracy. You know what I mean? Just because the people in power are saying it doesn't mean that it's fine. Like, what is this? The guy's got no bollocks. I mean, like I said, he literally just wanted to get into... he wanted to get into the government systems. He wanted to get embedded, and this was his way in, and he took it straight away. Obviously, it has a massive optics issue for the company as well. Things are moving so fast that we need to urgently educate the world so that the democratic process has time to catch up. I think one of our most important strategic decisions ever was the principle of iterative deployment. In particular, the key element required for democracy, such as protection of privacy, must be defended by all of society. That's why we'll let our model be used for mass surveillance. I believe that. I've got to say this again. Anthropic said, we're not letting you use it for mass surveillance, and we're not having autonomous weapons. Sam comes in and he's basically saying, oh yeah, no, they're saying it's fine. They're not going to use it for mass surveillance. They're not going to use it for autonomous weapons. So we've signed up. What? I believe that As some of the creators of this new technology, we deserve and are obligated to have a loud voice about the risks, pitfalls, and benefits we see. I think we are heading towards a world where the relationship between governments and AI efforts is critical. He will say this because he wants to be too big to fail. Because if it goes to shit, he wants a government bailout, right? Oh no, I've clicked on the thing. Oh no. What have I done? Hang on a minute. Let me go back. What? I've clicked back and it just says open lie. Oh no, I've done it again. Hang on. Here we go. There we go. Oh, I need AI to run this. Where was I? Yeah. In particular, key element required. Yeah. I believe that as one of the. Yeah, okay. Well, I think we're heading towards a world where the relationship between governments and AI is critical. I think this will be difficult, but it has to happen. I do not see any good future where we don't get there. There should not be games and fights in the press like this. Drastic government action should be avoided. But he's just benefited from drastic government action. This guy's a clown. I think there are real dangers coming to the world. Yeah, like your crazy fucking AI. And maybe pretty soon. I tried to put myself in the mindset of how I'd feel the day after an attack on the US or a new bioweapon we could have helped prevent. Okay, so there we go. This guy is just digging himself into a massive hole. Anyway, we've had the return of Microslop. It's never going away. It is now. It's here for the duration. Sam Altman is trying some insane damage control. And also Xbox are just going to play your games with AI. All right, guys. Thanks for watching today's video. I've been Stylos. If you enjoyed that, then let me know what you think about this in the comments below. And I am going to lie down. Goodbye.